Weakness has no alibi. Each of us carries something inside that holds us back. Sometimes we think it's circumstances, people, family, or just bad luck. But the truth lies elsewhere. The real prison is our habits, and small daily choices that seem harmless, but silently and slowly make you weaker. This video isn't about inspiration. It's a mirror. Here are 8 habits that are destroying you, and you have to be the one to destroy them first. Point 1. Habit: self-pity. The victim mindset is a way of life those who complain give up their power to change. Confucius understood human dignity as something that starts from within. The moment you start complaining, you're telling the world, I'm not responsible for what's happening to me. But at the same time, you're also saying, I can't change it. Complaining is resignation. It's the moment when you choose a passive excuse over an active response. Self-pity is one of the most deceptive defense mechanisms. In the short term, it comforts you. I'm not weak, I'm a victim. But in the long run, it shuts down motivation because it blames everything on the outside. From a psychological perspective, self-pity encourages learned helplessness, chronic procrastination, passivity, and the slow construction of an identity based on bad things happened to me. A person trapped in self-pity doesn't seek solutions. They seek validation for their suffering. It often hides behind phrases like, it's pointless. Why try if it won't work anyway? I never succeed. But in truth, it's about avoiding the pain of growth. Imagine someone betrays you. You have 2 options: feel sorry for yourself, shut down, and generalize, everyone's the same. Or accept the pain, recognize where you ignored the warning signs, and move on. A victim asks, why me? A strong person asks, what can I do about it? Change begins the moment complaints end. Your life starts to shift when you accept that no one else is coming to save you. Not the government, not your partner, not fate, you, and only you. Do you ever catch yourself waiting for someone to rescue you, thinking the world owes you an apology? Write the word victim in the comments if you know it's time to step out of the role. 2. Habit: procrastination and excuses equals comfortable death. Don't waste time philosophizing about what a good person should be. Just be one. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, left us one of the most powerful lessons in the philosophy of action. Don't talk about virtue, live it. This quote is not an attack on thinking, but on analysis paralysis that state where you know what you should do, but keep wondering how, when, or why. Aurelius warns us, thinking without action is escape. Action without thinking is chaos. But thinking without action, useless. In a world full of advice, books, and podcasts, the one who acts wins over the one still waiting for the perfect moment. Procrastination is not laziness. It's fear disguised as logic. Psychology shows that most people don't procrastinate because they're lazy. They procrastinate because of fear of failure. What if I mess it up? Fear of success. What if it works and I can't handle it? Identity protection. If I don't try, I can't fail. Excuses are ego's defense mechanism. They shield you from the uncomfortable truth. You're not where you want to be because you haven't taken the first step. You know you should change jobs, but instead, you wait for a better time. You know you should start working out, but today you're just not feeling it. You know you should speak the truth, but you'll deal with it later. But every additional day of delay is like adding another lock to the door of your own growth. You don't need motivation. You don't need the right mood. You just need to decide. Change doesn't come on the right day. It comes the day you stop making excuses. How will you know when that day comes? It's today. If you're reading this, it's now. 3. Habit: constant comparison. The slow poison of the soul. He who envies admits his own inferiority. Seneca, as a Stoic philosopher, understood that envy doesn't reflect others. It reflects you. Constant comparison doesn't bring you closer to your true self. It only distracts you from becoming who you're meant to be. Comparison creates a false belief. I am less because they are more. But in Stoicism, the truth is simple. Every person walks their own path, and no path is higher, just different. Comparison is often an automatic ego response seeking validation not from within, but from outside. Psychology shows that the more time people spend comparing, especially online, gives the more they experience anxiety, dissatisfaction, and passivity. And the more we believe that other people's success equals our personal failure, gives the more we fall into the trap of "I'll never be enough." Comparison is a trap because you'll always find someone better, faster, smarter, more accomplished, and that can make you feel worthless. But the truth, you don't need to be the best at everything. You just need to be strong where you are truly yourself. Imagine scrolling through social media and seeing people crushing it. Instead of inspiration, you feel resentment or shame. So you start copying, and in doing so, you lose your own identity. The key isn't comparison. The key is focus. Focus on becoming who you are meant to be, not who they already are died for. Habit, obsession with others' opinions. The quietest prison, if you want to be loved, love. Seneca keeps it simple and sharp. Don't wait to be loved. Be the one who loves. Don't wait for approval, recognition, or praise. Become the source of what you're seeking. Anyone who lives for validation is not living their own life. They live the version that pleases everyone else. But philosophy teaches, respect doesn't begin with others. It begins with you. Dependence on others' opinions is a deeply rooted survival reflex. It comes from childhood, when we needed acceptance to feel safe. But in adulthood, it becomes a trap. You constantly second-guess yourself. You don't approve of your choices until others do. You're afraid to say no because you fear rejection. And the biggest irony? You will never be enough for everyone. And if you try to be, you'll lose yourself. Imagine not starting a project because what if people don't get it? Not speaking the truth because what if they judge me? In that moment, you hand over the keys to your own life to someone else. True freedom begins when you no longer need permission to be yourself. Do you struggle with caring too much about what others think? Write the word freedom in the comments if you know it's time to start living by your values, not their expectations. 5. Habit, laziness. The betrayal of your own potential. Man is not born ready-made. He becomes what he chooses to become. Jean-Paul Sartre, as an existentialist, believed that man is not defined by what he is at birth, but by what he chooses to become through his actions. Laziness isn't about resting. It's the refusal to become the person you're meant to be. Every day you surrender to comfort. You surrender a piece of your future self. Sartre would say, the greatest betrayal is not of the world, it's of your potential. And laziness is exactly the kind of betrayal. Laziness often wears the mask of rest, relaxation, or needing a break. But beneath it, you'll often find low self-confidence. Why try if I'll fail? Fear of success. What if I can't handle it? Addiction to comfort. I'd rather feel good now than grow. The brain is wired to conserve energy, and modern life is built to keep you comfortable. But comfort is not a reward. It's a drug. It doesn't help you heal. It helps you forget you're stuck. When you stop taking action, you don't stay the same, you decay. And laziness never robs you all at once. It chips away at your strength day by day. You know you should study, but you binge videos. You know you should move, but you sit. You know you should reach out, right? Build. But instead you wait for the right moment. The right moment never comes. The feeling comes after the action, not before. Want more energy? Move. Want more meaning? Create. Want change? Start. Period. 6. Habit, living in the past. The chain that strangles growth. Don't dig through ashes. Breathe today. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, taught that we cannot change the past. We can only choose how we respond to it, here and now. The past is like ash. You carry it in your hands thinking it reminds you of what you survived. But in truth, it weighs you down and clouds your vision. No fresh start can grow while your eyes are glued to what's behind you. People stuck in the past tend to replay their mistakes, re-experience shame, guilt, or betrayal, refuse to evolve because they are trapped in an outdated version of themselves. This creates a mental loop. The more you dwell on the past, the more you believe it defines you. And the more it defines you, the less you believe in your power to change. Psychology shows that people who live in the present experience less anxiety, less depression, and more clarity. You say, I messed up before, so I'll mess up again. Or, they hurt me, so I can't trust. Or, I failed back then, so why try now? But that's not your past. That's your current programming, and it can be rewritten, not by denying the past, but by refusing to let it rule your day. 7. Habit, self-sabotage. When you are your own enemy, what holds us back is not who we are, but what we believe we are. Carl Jung teaches us that a person is not defined by objective reality, but by their own beliefs about themselves. Self-sabotage doesn't come from real barriers. It comes from an internal voice that says, I'm not good enough. I'm not the kind of person who can do that. I probably don't deserve it. These beliefs act as an invisible ceiling you place above yourself, and then wonder why you never rise higher. Jung reminds us, transformation begins with the image you carry of yourself. And if you see yourself as weak or undeserving, you will act accordingly, and your world will reflect that. Self-sabotage shows up when we start something, then immediately quit, downplay our own wins, reject opportunities to avoid risking failure, create drama when things are finally going well. Psychologists call this the inner critic. It sabotages growth to protect your ego from disappointment. But in doing so, it destroys the future version of you that could have existed. What if all these years, you weren't failing because you were weak, but because deep down, you were terrified of what might happen if you succeeded? 8. Habit, fear of making decisions. The path to stagnation. Great things are born from small decisions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that no big change happens all at once. It starts with one simple, clear decision: to say yes, to say no, to move. The people who are constantly waiting for certainty will never move forward, because the perfect time doesn't exist. It's a myth. Every act of courage in history began with one decision: to end something, to begin something, to speak. The fear of making decisions is often fear of responsibility. What if I screw it up? What if it's all on me? What if this changes everything? But not deciding is still a decision. It's choosing comfort, choosing safety, choosing stagnation. Psychology calls this decision paralysis, and it's a modern epidemic. People stay in pain simply because it feels familiar. But life doesn't grow in certainty. It grows in motion. You've been in a job that's draining you, but it pays the bills. You've wanted to speak up, but you don't want to stir things up. You've had a dream, but you don't feel ready. The moment to act isn't tomorrow, it's now. The first step isn't supposed to be big, just real. Are you holding back on a decision you know you need to make? Write the word begin in the comments if it's time to stop hesitating and start moving forward. These 8 habits aren't just stealing your time. They're stealing your power to become the person you're meant to be. Self-pity, procrastination, comparison, obsession with others' opinions, laziness, living in the past, self-sabotage, fear of decision. Each of them may feel familiar, but none of them will lead you to growth. You're not here to merely survive. You're here to grow, to lead, to rise. Write in the comments which habit hit you the hardest, and which word represents your next move. And if you're ready to stop chasing excuses and start finding clarity, subscribe to the channel. Quotes with benefits. The journey doesn't end here. It begins here.